Good evening, everybody. It is Monday night and we are back racing. It is the qualifier this evening for our new GTE Manufacturers Challenge, a new season that we have concocted up, and you'll see that we've mixed it up between a Thursday and a Monday, getting the guys the longer races now on a Monday evening and in the commentary box as normal. Ashley, how are you this evening? I definitely know there are a lot of nerves around this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. How's it, Dylan? Yeah, I think we're in for a very interesting season. The GTEs again, but a little bit of a twist this time. We're doing the 40 minutes stint, and with the setup, so I think the guys are going to be spending a lot of time getting those cars to the race pace where we saw from the last season. But look out, we've got some new drivers who are joining us, and I think it's going to be pretty interesting.
So we are just waiting for the guys in the background. The guys are in the lobby. It looks like we are one driver short there, but we are definitely ready to go. I have given my thumbs up. So we do have Tyler Scott, who's the host for the first round. And the format for this evening, guys, is we've got two hosts, three different sessions. And what is essentially going to happen is that every single driver will have 3 times to have a go. Get their fastest times within those 3 sessions. We then take the average of those 3, and that gets you into the qualifier. We have got 33 drivers that have entered into this championship, and only 11 spots available in the alpha tier. I wonder whether we're going to see a repeat of what happened last time we raced on the Monday, where from first down to 20th place was only separated by 1.5 seconds. I think it's going to be just as close.
No, it was a crazy last season, and I'm just looking at all the cars here, and it looks like the popular car that the guys have chosen is the Ford GT, and I know from previous races, it's a very nice car to drive, so let's see how the guys can handle around this Red Bull Ring, the first track of the series, and the qualifying track for this evening. I think we're going to see some very good and close times this evening, yeah.
So just going to bring up the 5 drivers that are already qualified, and that is Brandon Hills, Jakes, myself, Pieter Brunt, and Marius. Obviously, the 3 podium winners from the last season. Brandon taking that victory, Jakes in second, myself in third, and then the automatic qualifiers from the Bravo tier, that is Pieter Brunt and Marius being promoted up into the Alpha tier. And I wonder how they will be faring in these conditions. So, Ashley, I'm not sure whether you're able to just find out from Tyler what we're waiting for, because I know that we are on a extremely tight shift. Just knowing that we do have an additional 6 sessions through this evening.
There we go.
So I guess Tyler did hear the calls there. We are now officially up and running, and this is going to be the first of the 6 heats this evening. Just looking at the commentary box, the comments box. We do have Brandon DeSantos. He's saying hi, guys. So he got the first dibs this evening. Oh, hold on. Then we've got Andrew Storm. He's saying hi, Chris Radloff, flat out. Fortunately, Christopher not racing this season with us, but thank you, Andrews, for popping in. I'll definitely send on that message. And Daniel War Machine Morales, he's back, saying code coconuts. Yes, indeed, we are. We've got Brandon Hills, finally the Alba bump. For some reason, the last couple of times that little emoji was brought up is that it didn't actually have the emoji, and it was just the code.
Squiggly lines.
No, it came up as a code, the little double colon, Alba bump,
right.
double colon. So now it's actually the emoji. And then Daniel War Machine saying woohoo Ford. We all know that Daniel in the US works for Ford himself. And there we go, Andrew Horn in that Ford.
wonder if he's had the opportunity to sit in one of these cars or go around a track with one of these cars. Man, oh man, it's one of my favorite vehicles, and if I had the money, I would definitely have one of these GTEs in my garage, that's for sure. Out on track at the moment, so we see the Horn Dog in that famous colors, the same car that they used at the Le Mans 24-hour, and managed to beat the Ferrari again on the 50th anniversary of that event, where the Ferrari and the Ford were battling out for the top honors at Le Mans. And second there at the moment, so we also have the other Ford of Gav, same colors as the Horn Dog, and Marius. Interesting, deciding to go with the BMW this time. We know he in the past has, I think he was an Aston Martin fan, and or was it the Jaguar? I think it was the Aston Martin. So he now taking the BMW, and let's see what he can do in that. I think it's the M3, or it's the M6. Dylan, maybe you can just correct me there.
So
Pieter Brunt in his famous Ferrari.
I just wanted to add a bit of a comment there on the BMW there, and that is because Marius would drive in the Aston, but what we learned is that at this altitude, specifically on this game, is that what we found is that it actually lifts because of the altitude. Some of the cars that are not turboed, they are a little bit under power, and Marius definitely wanted to use the Aston, but in terms of that pace, just not fast enough, and unfortunately needing to just make that change because of the lack of power that he was experiencing, just about 1 second off the pace, and that definitely would not have helped him should he have gone into this qualifying, because we just know how close it's going to be this event.
For sure. And I was just saying that Pieter Brunt has taken the Ferrari game. You saw him in the previous season in the GT4s, the GT3s, where he dominated the Bravateer, taking top honors there, and deciding to go with the Ferrari again. So a big fan of the Ferrari, obviously very comfortable in the Ferrari, and he's going to be taking the season again with the GTE. I'm not sure if there's the specs between the GT and the GT3. I think they're actually very similar cars, so perhaps that's why he's gone for that particular. Why he's gone with that choice, and so that he's very comfortable with the car already.
So just in terms of the setup, they are going to be very, very similar. What you'll notice there it goes. Our sponsors advert has just come up. I'm not too sure why or how that happened. It must be on some sort of auto timer, but it's supposed to come up after the session. But essentially, deliver your parcel. The sponsor once again for our Monday night and Thursday night. So really excited to have them on board. So getting back to the action, and we're just watching Nassif, a newcomer to our community. You see, he's just trying to get his hands and his feet working together. The first time experiencing one of these qualifying, so I'm pretty sure that he's a little bit nervous, a little touch there from the back of Jake's. We see Jake's in the background there.
Sure, it doesn't look like he's using a stereo. He might be using a controller. Just looking at the way that car is moving around on the track, and that's a typical sort of movement what you'll see with somebody using a controller. Very direct and sharp turns. Yeah, definitely looks like he's using a controller there and having to change gear, so that must be something totally different for him, and I'm sure as we go on through the course of the season he will adjust to using that controller.
So just having a look at some of the times, we have 9 minutes left. Jake starting to I thought Jake's was behind, but actually Jake's was ahead. So that black BMW that we had watched, it went onto the back of Nassif. That wasn't Jake's. But currently the times, Gavin a 126.9. Then we've got the Horde on 127.1. Peter Brunt 127.2. Then 127.3, 127.9 for Terry. Followed by Tyler as well, 127.9. So 1 second is the gap between first and now 7th place. So that is already extremely close.
Yeah, there we see Jake's going over the line, not able to improve his time too much. He's doing a 128.2, so still hasn't found the pace compared to those GTEs up in front there at the moment. Oh, there goes Pieter. Brandt gets a little bit out of shape there.
Too much on the inside curb, and unfortunately that is exactly what's going to happen. It is going to spin you around. So that is currently Marius. He's in 4th place, so 0.3 off the top time there. We are going to try and get the running points for this evening. We just hope that everything works according to plan, and we'll be able to just give the guys a little understanding of where they're currently tracking. But I must say that the curbs on this track are not very forgiving, specifically in the GTE cars. Is that if they are, the suspension's a little bit stiffer, you do touch them and it just seem to lose that traction.
Yeah, I think this game in general is not very kind on the curbs, as compared to the Assetto Corsa, where you can really attack the curves and get away with it. Yeah, you have to be very precise and smooth, not to ride those curves too much, otherwise you will find yourself spinning. But we're just watching Marius here, his previous lap, a 130, sorry.
It's a 127.3.
Yep, a 127.3. So let's see if he can improve his time here to move himself from fourth position. At the moment, the GTE seems to be dominating, followed by the Ferrari.
Oh, that might be
goes wide.
Invalidated lap there.
But he still has 6 minutes left on the clock. He might be just burning off some fuel here. It looks like he's going to go for another run and see if he can improve the time.
So just having a look at some more comments coming through. Greg Thompson, he's joined, saying evening chaps. As well as Peter Hardeman saying hello. Let's see when Peter Hardeman, Sly Pete is up next. There's already we're getting the invite from Jacques. So Jacques,
how's it guys? How's it, Greg?
We will be there shortly. There is still 5 minutes left here, so we're just running a little bit behind schedule, but not too bad at this point. So look at that, Terry currently up at the top there, 126.8, so he's gone quicker than Gavin has, and it looks like he's going to have another go to try and get himself secured up in the top. Definitely looking to get himself up into the Alpha tier.
That's a blistering time there from Terry. He's really finding his feet in the sim racing game compared to when he started. Yeah, man, I mean, He has come a long way.
And it was actually one of the things we chatted to him about on Monday, last week Monday, the roundup show. And he just said it was all about, just the seat time, making sure he got used to the settings, and it just becomes practice. And there we see him at the top, which is a lot, because there goes Marius, 126.8. So Marius has put in the fastest time for now. So that is
and just
really, really
that's
good.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy time there. So, but 3 manufacturers there. Oh, sorry, it was the 2 GTEs, 3 GTEs, and then the Ferrari. So it's good to see the BMW up there, showing that, just to add a little bit of variety.
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry.
So I'll actually be driving in the Porsche as Marius gets that rear very loose on that exit.
Yeah, and the Porsche is a very nice vehicle to drive around here as well.
And the reality is that if I look at these times, is that I'd probably be sitting basically in between where Tyler and Stephen is. And that's only because the Porsche is not a very good car at this track. So 3 minutes left.
It's quite surprising. You think that the Porsche would be one of the quickest vehicles around here at the moment. What are you struggling with on the Porsche?
Well, apparently, and this is one of the reasons why Marius changed his car from the Aston to the BMW, is that at altitude, which is where they are, is that apparently the naturally aspirated cars lose between 20 to 40% of their horsepower.
Okay. So also the Porsche doesn't have a turbo. That's interesting.
So I'll tell you who's really going to be struggling for some pace, and that is Ross down in 16th place. We know that he did get in a little bit late, so I'm pretty sure that he's really feeling that pressure now. He is going to have to get a good lap in now, and then hopefully just keep that last 2 minutes for him to have another flyer. So hopefully this is just his sighting lap, but has not been able to convert a lap time just yet.
You see someone stuck on the track there. I don't know if you've seen that as well,
Yeah,
Dylan.
I am indeed. As we watch, as we watch Ross approach the line. So Ross goes up into 11th place, a 128.6.
I was just trying to see who that is on the track.
So there's Stephen in the Porsche, which we had mentioned, and I must say that the setup that I had was really good and I felt really confident, but just could not get those times down. So I definitely am happy to be taking my wild card and not needing to qualify here this evening, otherwise I would be sweating.
Yeah, I think you have a point there. So we just go back to the front leaders at the moment. We have Marius with the quickest time of 126.8, followed by Terry. You can see Terry now on track at the moment, tearing up those curves, and that's not going to help him go any quicker. In third position, we have Gavin with a time there of a 126.9, followed by the Horn Dog. And that's actually the Horn Dog on the side of the road there that we've seen.
I wonder whether his wheels possibly disconnected.
Or maybe he's just decided to take a pit stop. Who knows? In fifth position, we have Pieter Brunt. Pieter Brunt taking the Ferrari. He's been pretty successful in that Ferrari in the GT3 series. Now, using the similar Ferrari for the GTEs. Jake's down in sixth position at the moment, not getting to grips with that BMW compared to Marius at the moment. Almost a full second off the pace there. And down in seventh we have Tyler Scott, and I think that's the end of qualifying.
That is it.
The first session is done. So Marius there taking the top time. They followed very closely there by Terry and Gavin. And if you look at those guys all the way to 8th position, less than a second apart. Unbelievable.
That is crazy. Well, guys, we're just going to head on to our a new lobby. We will be back shortly. Oh, hold on. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So Ashley, what did you think about that qualifying?
Well, I was very interested I was very surprised with Terry's performance there, and how close the guys are all together. A good time there by Marius, but he's a pretty well experienced driver, and he's taking that BMW and doing some magic work with it. But seeing those times then from 1st to 8th, man, it's going to be a very close battle for the guys getting into the Alpha tier.
So I was really hoping that I would be able to do a quick catch up on the times here. But the question is, man oh man, it's just so close, so many times to get in that unfortunately, guys, it's not going to work. I had every intentions to do so. As we see Ashley changing his camera up a little bit. What's happening there?
I thought I'd just take a quick break, but I didn't realize I was live.
No worries. So we're just waiting for the guys in the next session. Just got to let Jacques know that he needs to please just make me the broadcaster, and then we'll be able to get going. So Stephen, let's just go to you quickly. You're driving in the Porsche.
Yeah.
Quite a handful. And also just in terms of the pace, are you feeling the difference in terms of the pace versus the other guys?
Yeah, look, I was a little bit disappointed. I was a lot quicker in practice. Car is completely different than to what I've been practicing with. Traction was a bit, I don't know if it's just me, but yeah, the traction was not the same. The tires are going quick. The track temperature is quite hot. So 2-3 laps and then your tires are gone.
So the question
it's like
is,
not out there.
so
So you
it's almost like
literally.
Are you on the soft tires? Because my advice to you is go to the hards and just go 143 in the front and 138 on the rear.
Yeah.
Because what happens is the softs on a Porsche overheat, and as you're saying, within the next 2 or 3 laps, then they become snotty, and then there's no grip. Whereas rather use the hards. They'll take a lap or so to get a little bit some tire temperature into them, but you'll definitely see that there will be some grip.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
No worries. So it looked like the guys in the background just changed the lobby over quickly. There was something that was happening there. So pretty sure that I'll get my invite for the director. And as Stephen is going to be, the director for Stephen, and myself, I will be the broadcaster. So there's the approval that I needed. I'm good to go, and I'm pretty sure that Jacques will be starting it up. Just looking at some of the comments coming through, Peter Hardeman saying, can you keep that pace up for 40 minutes? Well, Peter, the beauty about it is there are some of the guys that can, and some of the guys that really will battle, but that's the beauty about having the longer races, that you're able to just pace yourself and manage that distance between yourself and your competitors. A little comment there from Ross, just giving himself a little pat on the back. It's like, oh my god, how quick was that green Ford driven by that cat guy? That was amazing. I completely agree. So Ross, whoever you are, definitely watch out for Quat Your Cat. We know exactly who Ross is supporting there. I hope I said that right. Quat your cat.
Yeah. Let's see what this group can do. Pace was quite quick in the last group. So yeah. I think Linda's gonna get low 26s.
So a quick comment there from Ross saying, you actually pronounce it Pickaween.
Pickaween.
Well, there's I was about to say some strange stuff happening, but the reason it was strange was because it is now gone into the loading screen. So to any of the guys that were in that first session that want to jump in and come chat to us quickly, let us know how that session was. You're more than welcome. We'll even get up a little broadcasting screen that so you're able to see what's going on in the background. Not that one. Not that one either. So we are now officially running 10 minutes behind, but we should be able to just catch up another 5 minutes. So there on shot is Quat the Cat, looking to get himself further up the order. He did qualify down in, let's see, because I do have the times recorded here. So Ross was down in 11th position. That's 1.5 seconds off. So first to 8th place, Stephen, was separated by 1 second.
Yeah.
So we've got Terry Wolford that's just joined us saying, let's do this, and a 126.858 for him, 0.55 off Marius. So Terry was at top of the tables there just for a little bit, and unfortunately Marius just kicking him off the pedestal, but I'm pretty sure that Terry will be coming back with a vengeance with that blue and orange livery on that Ford. So let's get it from the man himself, Marius.
Hey guys, how are you?
Very good, thank you. We just have a question we wanted to ask. We saw that you were in a BMW. Were you not willing to risk driving in that Aston?
No, actually I'm doing the same times in the Aston as the BM. So it's not really, I just thought I did a championship. All I've been driven so far in GTE was the Aston. And when I saw Jake's, the green Mamba, take a BMW, I thought, okay, I'll match that, and then I'll take the championship in the BM.
Yeah. So, Jakes, I hope you're listening to us because you've just been singled out by Marius himself. Marius, what Terry has said is that you need to stop using that curse button. That's not fair.
Now, listen, these times, I think in the next the session that's busy now, you're going to see the real quick guys. That time that I put up is definitely not close to where they will be. The Fords are extremely strong on this track with that all that downforce they have. And you can expect a low 26, even a 25. So watch the guys, Lima, watch Jark, watch Brando Skills, watch those guys, they are very fast.
So we'll definitely keep our eyes on that, because if that's the case, Marius, is that means that you are essentially going to be about 0.6 to 0.7 off the pace.
Yeah, no, for sure, I made my peace with that. All I'm aiming is just to be in that 11, okay? So I can get in the upward tier. No, I realize that I will never be able to match those times on this track against the Fords. The track is very hot, so the tires go off very, very quickly. So it will almost be better to do 2 or 3 stints in your session to get the most out of it.
So far, we've got Ross that's gone 127.7, so he's gone half a second quicker than his first stint. Louis in the top spot there, 127.4. And then we've got Lendl 127.9, Durkee 127.8. Then Robert 127.3, so he's currently the fastest on the track for now.
Yeah, those times will definitely drop. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely seeing a lot of Fords here as Lendl just gets that rear a little bit loose as he gets that power on up into turn number 2. And you've got to be so careful there. You can't accelerate too quickly there. That second corner there, Marius, do you go down to first, or do you just let the car coast through there in second?
No, with the BM I have to go down to first, and then I short shift to second out of that corner, just to bring the nose in, and the second is not, for that initial push on the throttle, there's not enough drive in second out there.
Got you. So just see a driver moving himself out of the way.
Brando, 27.1.
So Brandon Hill's 27.1. So starting to get closer to that. As we say that, there's Louis, 126.9. So here come those 26s. Lendl crosses the line, but he is this is definitely the lobby of the Fords, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a Ford Fiesta.
Oh, I love that. Marius, have you driven the BMW on any of the other tracks?
No, I haven't. This is the first time now. Actually, my first laps in the BM was just before the competition. But it feels surprisingly okay. I think I'm going to have lots of fun in it. It might not be everywhere, the same as the Fords with a little bit of more downforce they have, but I think I'll try and be a nuisance.
That's all you can ask for, right? So
anyway, guys, I'm gonna slip out. Enjoy it. I'll see you in the next session.
So we've now got Rockstar Mel. He now goes top of the tables, 126.6, followed by Louis, who does go quicker, but he's only a 0.04 off. Now we've got Lendl, 126.64. So he takes off 0.13 of Rockstar Mel's time there.
Some quick times.
So we're still waiting to see Durkee getting his fast time down in 8th place. We've got Vaughan Hills. I'm pretty sure that there's some more pace in there. Then we've got Nidmaster in 9th, Colin in 10th, Cutting Beef, that's what's it, 130. Just jump to number 11, please. I just want to see if Duncan is in the Porsche. So we've got Duncan in the Aston. So currently the only Aston that is on track. And then we've got Pete down in 12th place, so 130.7 for him. And then Johan VDB, he comes back and having a go there, 131.6. Then down in 14th place, newcomer as well, and that is Chase, 132.0 there for him. Little mistake there from Duncan, just locking up that rear as he geared down, and that is part of that problem with the engine braking in that car, but how you're able to get rid of that. So Johan VDB will cross the line. He does not improve. We have just over 6.5 minutes to go, and that side of that Porsche, you can just see how close that BMW is in the straight line. Speed advantage of that Porsche of the BMW is so quick. Getting myself all twisted looking at the one car when I'm supposed to be talking about the other one.
Ooh, a little bit of a snap there.
But now this is the problem when you've got two cars so close together, is that not one of them is able to just ease off their time in the fear that they will not get a faster time in. But all they're doing is just slowing each other down, as we see one of the Fords going to the inside. And Johan, a little snap of the rear there, two little flash of the lights there from the Ford behind him. But the way I see it is that Ford has caused trouble for himself, but it looks like Johan is just able to hang on to that. Now coming out of the last corner towards the start-finish line, you see it as they across the line, no change of the times there. Lendl still 126.4 for him. So do see three drivers in the pits now starting to come out with 5 minutes left, so they're going to have one flyer to go. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So we currently are watching Jacques as he now heads down towards turn number 3. And it's such a tricky corner, but you brake just at that 100-meter mark. Slowly feed the car in, get on the power. And then in through turn number 4, he goes. A touch of the brakes down at the 50-meter mark, get the car turned in, get that power on as quickly as possible. Then a little dab of the brakes or a gear down there. You can see how he had to put in a bit of counter steer, but he's gone a little bit wide there.
Lost time there.
On that exit, that's definitely 100% correct. Gonna cost him a little bit of time. But now into turn 7, a touch of the brakes once again, down one gear. Then here, turn number 8, I definitely gear down. And as he comes to the line,
no, it's all the same.
So Jacques does not improve. So Louis currently in 3rd place. There's in shot now is Robert. So Robert doing extremely well in 4th place there. Now 1st to 8th is separated by 0.75 of a second. That is so
crazy.
close.
It is crazy. Right now, anyone could be in that Alpha. Just gotta make sure your next qualifier is just as good.
But this is the thing. So if you take those times, remember, so we've got Lendl 126.4, versus the 126.8 from Marius.
Yeah.
Let's go down to a 127.2. So if we go 127.2, is that from Lendl to Ross, then Marius, Terry, Gavin, the Horn Dog, and Peter Brunt. We've got too many drivers there that are potentially qualifying.
Yeah, no, it is. The lobby's too small.
Because 8 and 5 is 13. So far, we've got Brandon Hills. It's Durkee, Ross, and I'd say Peter Brunt, but Peter Brunt would be safe, which means Jakes would not be safe. How crazy is that?
Hey.
So we're really seeing the poor little Porsches being pretty bullied up here because the Fords just have so much more straight line speed. Going into the braking now, it looks like Johan is having a bit of a dice there.
Yeah.
Brandon getting a little kick of the rear. Can't see that time just yet, so 1 minute left. And you would think that Tyler would think that he was safe in 7th place in terms of his fastest time from the first qualifier. But that's a 127.5. And that's just not enough at this stage.
No, it's not.
So 42 seconds left on the clock. So a last corner here for Brandon to get himself through. As he crosses the line, does improve? No, he does not, but that's a 127.1 for him. So technically he should be safe. So it looks like for you to qualify, you've got to be in the 26s.
Yeah, but it looks like Insomnia is actually putting a crack of a lap here. It's like 0.040 of the pace there. So we must have missed him have a great lap there. But it also looks like Lendl also improved there with the 26.3.
Yeah, so Lendl has gone quicker, so here's a point 0.4. Just want to see who's going to be.
Because he was 26.4 and 10.
So Brandon does have the opportunity to get another flyer in. Also just making sure that I do have the correct times. I remember the last season.
And look at that. Lendl just put in a quicker time. It's like a 126 flat.
126.0. Well, Morris did say that there might be that 125.
Yeah. That is quick. That is super quick.
So all that does is it just makes the times get even closer, which means that it looks like you have to have a 26 to even think that you're going to qualify.
Yeah. Yeah, if you then put in a 26, seeing Bravo.
So to the guys that are watching for your up-and-coming sessions, it looks like, guys, the bar has now been set, is that for you to qualify, they have to be doing a 126 or less, because currently we've got, what's It's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 drivers already in those 126s. And then we've got another 7 drivers that are within 0.3 of a second. It is extremely close. If you're not doing a 126, you're not going to qualify.
Yeah. Crazy. Really. Right. I'm going to get ready for my qualifier now.
So, Stephen, enjoy. And I'm pretty sure that we'll jump in. Ashley will be back and joining us.
Sweet, man. Enjoy. Cheers.
Dylan, I've just been doing a couple of laps myself because I'm itching now watching these other guys.
And how are those times looking?
And I'm nowhere on the pace, nowhere near the pace. The pace that we've seen this evening, this 126 is low, 126 is borderline on the 125s, is blistering pace from these guys, and I think we're gonna see some surprises this evening. Guys that we have seen going through to the Alpha tier suddenly gonna find themselves down in the Bravo tier, and I think we're gonna have some long faces, and I'm sure I would have been one of them, that's for sure.
Well, look, I'm going to come out and be honest, Joe, is that if I was qualifying, because I chose on the Porsche, I would not be able to qualify, because the best that I could get was just coming down to a low 27, but by no means was I able to get a 26.
Wow. Yeah, these guys have definitely been doing their homework. Obviously had the weekend to practice, and it's paying off now. But we still have another few sessions left, and it's still anyone's game. We just got to...
Yeah, we're just waiting for Tyler to start up that lobby, and we will be going.
The guys, that is the last 3 guys, they're going...
So we are now starting up, and man oh man, you see Vaughan Hills, he's just joined us and saying it is so close. Vaughan cannot get any closer, and I definitely think that it's going to get even more tricky as soon as we start just jumping around and splitting up those average times. Because if we got Brandon Hills in 7th from his heat, but that's on a 127.0. So if we take that 127.0, we then have the Horn Dog was a 127.1, Pieter Brunt 127.2, Jakes 127.4. So if we take those 6 drivers to where Brandon Hills was, that is 14 drivers. All separated by a second.
That's exactly what we want to see, and we saw that similar pace, similar distance between the drivers in the Formula 1, and it shows you, I think, the caliber of these drivers, and how closely they are in terms of the pace at the moment. We see the guys there fighting for track position.
So that's Terry, Pieter Brunt and Gavin all trying to get out to get that clear track ahead of them. And we do have a nice full lobby, so it is very tricky to find that gap.
If I were these guys, I would be giving each other as much room as possible. You really see there, I think that's Terry just backing out a bit. Or are they playing the slipstream game, trying to get a bit of a slipstream from one of these guys out in front?
So we know that Pieter Brunt doesn't have to qualify, but this he is going for pride. I don't have to show my pride, I've qualified. And I'm so glad I did not have to. Ross, he's had to go and do 3 in a row. He unfortunately needing to be done by 9 o'clock, so he's going to be under pressure. I wonder whether he'll just make use of those 30 minutes that he's got. Oh no, he's got 8 minutes, so he's got 8 minutes. It looks like there might have been a bit of a touch there. 2 cars off the side of the track.
Ooh, looks like ruined Ross's chances there of a good starting lap. He'll have to do another lap now to warm up those tyres. Maybe yes. Not getting those tyres up to temperature. Do you think he's maybe going for the harder compound?
So I drove the softs. I don't know what they were like in the Ford, but Stephen was saying that he was struggling with the tyres on the softs. I could do 2 laps and then all of a sudden I would just lose the rear traction. So the hard's definitely the way to go. But what then happens is that you need an extra 2 laps to get the temperature in. So by lap 3, you're up to pace, and then that 4th lap, provided everything goes according to plan. Otherwise, you've got to start all over again, rerun the heat cycle, and then hopefully you're able to get that lap sticking.
For sure. There we see Brandon DeSantos. He's also gone for the Porsche. So let's see if he can maybe improve his time there. Steven's still in the pits at the moment. Gav now out on track, still behind Pieter Brunt there. Perhaps looking for a bit of a slipstream. And just ahead of them looks like Jake's in that BMW.
There's the start of the times, 1:28.04 Ross. And Gavin, 1:28.2. Looks like a few cars getting a bit confused there.
Jake's has just set a time there, 1:27.8.
So still 0.8 off that target pace. And I can tell you what, I'm pretty sure that these guys are starting to feel the pressure. And we generally see it that you're...
Whoa, there we go. Jake's making a little bit of mistake there.
And I was just going to say, what generally happens is that first session is generally when the guys have a nice, fast session. The second one is when the guys are trying a little bit too hard. Mistakes creep in and they don't put in as quicker times as they did the first session. And then the third one, it's kind of make or break. The ones that go faster, the ones that go through.
Yep. Yeah, we see it time and time again. The guys just trying too hard, overdriving the car, and they lose more time than anything else.
So we see already Pieter Brantano is going to have a go again. Marius, so he's 10 minutes in, still hasn't got a lap in. So I wonder whether he's waiting for just that perfect moment. But you can see this is Marius Jacobs getting that forward very sideways as he comes out of turn number 4, 9 to 5. He'll kick off the rear there as he gets a car on the sideboard in the way there.
Yeah, there looks like somebody on the side of the road there, and I think it was either Tyler or the Horn Dog.
Ooh, looks like Pieter Brunt's had a little coming together of something.
Yeah, he's got some damage on the front of that Ferrari, so he'll need to put in and just fix that before he can do a nice, decent lap.
So the guys, if you are currently watching, don't forget that this season is proudly brought to you once again by Deliver Your Parcel.
Jake's making another mistake, sorry there.
Yeah, I was about to say, Jake's definitely feeling the pressure, but he does have his banker lap in there. And now we see right at the top is Ross with a 1:27.0, so he's obviously heard the call and starting to put those laps in. You can see the color of the numbers. So I'm extremely excited, guys, to announce that the F400 karting race that we'll have our 3 winners will be happening on the 8th of August. So that is just 2 weeks away, and we will be racing once again.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited myself to get back on the track. It's been a long time, a long break. And it would be nice to get some laps on the open circuit again.
So guys, if you want to find out more about Deliver Your Parcel, you are able to go to www.deliveryourparcel.co.za. For those that want to just do casual bookings, anything can be done and booked online. For those that e-commerce businesses, they do have a integrated e-commerce platform that links up to a Shopify as well as other platforms. So give them a call. You can email them at info@deliveryourparcel, and you'll be able to find out everything that they're able to offer you. As we find a car in the middle of the track down at turn number 3. And
yeah, that's not going to help Marius. He hasn't set a time yet with 7.5 minutes left to go. And it's not going to help his cause. He needs to get a good time in here. Otherwise, he's going to find himself in a bit of a predicament.
And that's the thing about this qualifying format is, yes, you got to be fast, but you got to be able to do it consistently.
Absolutely. And he's that BMW looking like it's getting out of shape. Let's see what time he can post here with that car in the way. Time is down in 12th position at the moment with only a 1:30.3. And again, he picks up the traffic, puts the lights on just to let them know that he's coming. Let's take a drive around the circuit here with Marius. See, he comes into the first little 90 degree and then down the back straight.
So
and
prepare for turn number 3, just at that 100-meter mark. You're going to brake. We'll go down into second gear, up on the curb, and just squeeze that throttle. Then we'll go to the outside, down to 50-meter mark into turn number 4. You can hear that little short shift just about puts him in the dirt, but he's able to hang on to it. He'll snap on the rear once again. And man, oh man, this car definitely looks like it's a bit of a handful.
Yeah, for sure. Not looking as smooth as it should be. He gets on the power very early there, and that's what's causing the rear end to snap like that. But let's see if he can improve his time. He does cross the line and goes up to third now, 1:27.3. But still off the pace compared to what you've seen on his previous qualifying run.
Yeah, so Marius is 0.5 of a second off his fastest time at this stage. So there's still a lot of time to go and find it. And this is what's going to make things so interesting, is that, remember, we said that the top 15 guys, or the top 11 guys, are all within that 126. But now it's where the averages come in. So it's that little 27 that you get. What does it do to your overall time? At the end of the day, that's what everybody is going to be waiting to see.
He just loses a little bit there. There was a pretty clean lap until that point. Just seems to battle with in the tighter section here with that car.
Yeah, I think the BMW wants that straight line speed and wants the fast flowing stuff. As soon as it needs to change direction, that's when it, I suppose it's kind of like the Bentley, it just feels like a boat.
So he doesn't improve his time there.
And I think that's it. He might just jump into the pits, change of fuel, and have another a run there. So on board with Andrew Bourne, and he's currently in 4th place, so 27.6 there for him. and the Horn Dog did a 27.1. So half a second. It seems like there's about a half a second consistently here between all the drivers.
Yeah, still down to 8th position with that 1 second gap between the drivers.
And
times have slowed down a bit, so it's quite interesting.
I just wanted to say, if we look at 9th place, that's Terry with a 128.1. Terry did at 126.8, so that's 1.2 seconds a gap there. So very, very strange to see. And is that just over driving? Is that what's happening?
Well, let's go on board now with Terry and just see exactly what he's doing. So he comes in, brakes hard for that first corner. Ooh, the second corner, should I say. And on the power a little bit too early there. Looks like he's disabled the traction control, and that's why he's spinning out those corners.
So Gavin, he's now got into the pits. Terry running a little bit wide there. I wonder whether that's just a little bit of a lag bubble, because that did look pretty strange.
There's a bit of a lag there from him. So 2 minutes left of this qualifying session, and still in top at the moment, Ross with the 127.0, followed closely behind in Gav. But now I see the Horn Dog now puts in the time, goes second with the 127.2. Gav in third with a 127.3. Marius a 127.3. Pieter Brandt in the Ferrari at 127.4. Followed by Jakes in the BMW 127.6. That's Brandon. DeSantos in that Porsche doing a 127.9. And Marius down in ninth.
What I'm seeing here, Ash, is from 1st to 10th, so let's include Terry, so that's just on a second. It's 10 places.
Absolutely. So this session's going to definitely shift things around a bit. Times a lot slower than the first session. As you say, the guys are just maybe pushing a little bit too hard, or maybe starting to feel the fatigue of long days work now, having to do qualifying. Who knows?
It sounded like that car was going to stall up as he went out of turn number 2. So guys, if you are on the stream, let us know who you're cheering for. We do love to hear from you guys, and also the drivers do come back and watch the stream, and they do enjoy seeing all those comments and all that support. So feel free, let us know who you're cheering for. Who do you think is going to get the fastest time for the evening? So the Horn Dog 126.8, and I was almost wondering whether the track itself might be a bit slow, but definitely it is now on the same pace as Marius had got in the first heat. So it's definitely the conditions are the same. It just might be the fact that the guys are probably feeling the pressure. We see Vaughan Hills, some comments coming through here for him, saying it is so close. Deliver your parcel for the win. Most definitely is Jakes.
Whoa. Big moment there.
I almost thought Jakes was going to roll on his own.
Yeah,
but
that looked...
Jakes in the pits with a 127.3 there for him.
And Lamar is still on the track with 45 seconds left to go. Let's see if he's able to improve that time, but he's down in 6th position at the moment. The best he could do is a 126.3 as he comes over the last couple of corners.
There goes Gavin. He just does a 126.9.
So Morrison crosses the line now and goes, looks like he went quicker. I'm not sure how much quicker. But yes, he moved up into 4th position with a 127.3 there. To see a couple of guys did disconnect there. but we'll be able to get those times.
Yep, without a doubt.
So there you have it, the Horn Dog taking the top spot there with a 126.8, followed by Gav, a 126.9. Ross then moves down to third, a good solid 127 there for him. Marius moving up to fourth, a 127.3. Then fifth is Jakes, very close behind Marius. And then down in sixth we have BRM Marius, then seventh Pieter Brunt, Tyler Scott in eighth, Brandon Santos in ninth, and 10th is Terry.
Comments coming.
And just look at those times, not much separating those drivers all the way down to ninth position. Very, very close.
So I'm just going back just so I can see what those final times were, because I just missed it, and as Marius crossed the line, I wasn't able to get those final times. So I'm just gone back on the live stream, and I will be able to capture it just before he crosses the line there. So we're now heading to the fourth session for this evening. And unfortunately that is too blurry for me to see.
Well, let's say Sam or something like that, number 11.
Thomas.
Maybe one of Dylan's friends or something.
That's
Could be.
Thomas.
Is it Thomas? Ah, okay.
Maar hy was net online.
I don't know the guy as a friend. So I can't tell you.
Just, if it's this guy, just show online PS5. Like Mark Max, FARCO. Set that up.
Jacques, you are code coconuts.
Okay. This is my room. God.
Wat is die volgende manier? Gaan ze dit ook vir jou kyk betaal?
Je weet wat. Dan zeg ik maar weer gaan, als het allemaal is. But do you see that guy, Thomas?
You need to invite Rafiki as a belief.
Rafiki.
Yep, James.
Just
Just checking, have you got him there, Jacques?
Yeah, I got him. I sent him already.
I sent him now.
Baie dankie.
Maybe if there's a gap in the next session, that SA Grimby will get another show for starting the first one.
So once James is thumb is up. We are able to go. So Stephen, let's have a quick chat about your second session.
Yeah,
A little bit tougher out there?
yeah, definitely tougher. We saw the times weren't as quick as the first run. I tried the hards. Sure. Yeah, I don't think I'll be trying the hards again.
No, man.
I promise you, it was horrible. If I thought softs were horrible, I'll stick to softs.
No, that's crazy, because there's no ways that those hards would be worse than those softs, that's for sure.
I promise you, and maybe I didn't even look at the temps if they were still similar or what, because the times were even slower than the first section. It was actually quite scary. Even the fast guys, you could see were battling. They weren't putting in those 26s.
So the interesting thing is that there were two 26s that did go through.
Yeah. As we saw, Marius was battling there. He couldn't get in that time. He ended up putting in that time later through the session. I battled quite a bit.
Only got a 127.3, so that's half a second off his first time. So
Yeah.
we are already seeing how different the standings are going to be after the first two rounds, let alone getting another one in later on in this evening. So it is going to be an absolute cracker down to the wire.
It is. It is.
And I still cannot be confident enough to say that so-and-so is in.
No. There is no stating who is going to be in the alpha, because right now, as we all saw, Jakes could be in Bravo, for all we know. It is actually quite scary.
And the thing is that if we look at his second time, that's a 27.3. His first one was a 27.4.
Yeah.
So Jakes is, I'd say, under pressure, but remember that Jakes is an automatic qualifier. But you're right.
Yeah, he is.
Jakes should not be qualifying.
In Alpha.
And he finished 6th and 4th in the first and second session.
That is correct. So it is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting this season, because it's not going to be the same guys winning all the time. I think Jakes and them are going to battle a bit in that BMW. It's got pace, but track selections is another thing coming.
So looking at the comments, we've got Albert Jacobs saying, "Go Marius Jacobs, go." Ross going, "Lord, it's close." Ross saying that I messed up my first session, they might be in trouble. Ross with a 128.3 and then smashing a 127.0. You are gonna be very, very close. I think you're on the wrong side of that wire.
Yeah.
Then we've got Rudy saying, "Go Grimbricha," so that he's cheering you there for Yolan, saying you're fast with the Ford. And then we've got Thomas saying, "I have internet problems staying in the lobby. Tested with Talkie this afternoon." Thomas, don't worry, we will be able to get you racing with us. We will get Ash, our resident IT guru, to help with some port settings and that sort of thing, and see whether we are able to get you going. You unfortunately won't be able to compete here this evening to get in for the Alpha tier, but we'll definitely get you racing in that Bravo tier. So sometimes, already being posted, 127.3 by Dirkie. Dirkie, his previous session, 126.7, so there's still more time there for him. Robert's up there, 127.4. Robert did a 126.7, so lots of time coming there for him as well. Jacques, we know that he is still quick, so a second there for him to find. Vaughan Hills, he did a 126.9, so he's currently 0.9 of a second off. And this is the problem, specifically with this group, is you've got Lendl, Ruby, Jacques, Dirkie, Robert, and Vaughan, all in those 126s, so that is already 6 drivers, with not one of those drivers taking up one of the already secured spots.
Yeah.
Which means that out of this, plus the 5, that's 11, there's only 5 other drivers who are not in a 26. Stephen, it is going to be
there we go.
heart-wrenching.
There's the first 26.
26 for Amal Jacques, so that's a 26.7. So he's still got a little bit of time to find compared to his first round.
Yeah, this is wow. Yeah.
I must say that Cadillac, that Aston, it does sound amazing.
All right, so I think it's one of the best sounding cars in the GTEs, but yeah.
Okay.
I think Cutting Beef is battling a bit there with that car today.
I must just mention that Lendl won 26.1 there for him. So he's gone and found 0.6 of a second off Mal Jacques' time. So provided that Lendl does the last session and he keeps it on the track, I think I'm confident to say that he'll qualify.
Yeah. He looks like one of the quickest boys out here today. Yeah, he's
You see that
some sideways actions.
going
Yeah.
very sideways. So Brandon not improving, but it's still a 127.2 there for him. Sound like somebody went off there. Yeah, little return to pits there with 8.5 minutes left to go. Here's Vaughan Hills. Vaughan is currently in 4th place, 127.1 versus his 126.9, so 0.2 of a second, so it's going to be quite tricky for him to improve.
There's some, yeah. What's in it? 26.
So Louis, 26.6, that's a crack of a time there for him.
Yeah.
But he still so how crazy is this? He's ended at a 126.400 and Yari's on a 126.600.
Yeah. No, it's wow. Already 3 of the drivers in the 26. Yeah. From 1 to 5, it's just under a second there. But he's that close.
Dirkie, I still see that he's still yet to break that 26 this time around. He's got about 0.3 of a second to find to get to his fastest time.
Yeah.
Well, that just hurt my eyes.
Yeah, no, I had to look twice.
Is that, I think that's Rafiki. So that's the driver currently in 13th place, so that's James. And somehow managed to go in between, or actually in and ghost through the car ahead of him.
Yeah.
So James not able to improve that 130.1 and too much curve on the outside up against the wall. So Yolan, he's going to cross the line. He is currently in 8th, 127.9 there for him. So Yolo now coming to the braking zone here, turn number 2. A little lock up there for him. Oh, that's going to cost him time having to run wide like that. But Lendl still trying to get that 125.1 off a second. So he is about 1/10 of a second slower than his first session. And I see the guys riding that curb on the outside there, Stephen, and my heart just sinks.
Yeah.
Because it is so unpredictable there.
These curbs are horrible. It's not even fun. Because there's times that your car just sticks there, and then sometimes you can drive it, and then it just like holds you.
So guys, if you have just joined us on either our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, don't forget to give us a like. Go and subscribe to our channel on Facebook or like the page, and we do our live streams every Monday and Thursday night. And go and come and check us out. We are going to be doing the qualifying of the Ford, depending on how many drivers we have on the Ford. I'm looking at the Ford. For the Chevy V8 Sprint Series, we're changing it up, and that will be on the Assetto Corsa this coming Thursday. Depending on the entries, I think there was about 60 drivers that have entered, but we haven't quite closed the entries just yet. And I'm pretty sure that the guys were focusing on the Monday nights. So we'll going to change that format up as well, doing some sprint races with Assetto Corsa, not something that we'd normally see, as Colin goes very wide and taking that braking board with him. And he's just getting out the way as that is cutting leaf because he is in the darker car. As he crosses the line, doesn't improve, 129.5 there for him. 4 minutes left, and it's a driver we haven't seen much of this evening. That is Pete in that very, very brightly coloured Hankook Aston Martin. Pete down in 9th place, 128.5 there for him. In his first session, 129.0, so he hasn't been able to improve by half a second. But unfortunately, that's not going to qualify him in the Alpha tier for this championship. So Robert getting a great run out of the last corner as he crosses the line. Robert's currently in 627.0 for him. Does not improve, so he's still within a second of Lendl's time. 3 minutes left, and Brandon Skills, the fastest online hills on the planet for now. Rory Warning will have your chance this season for redemption. Brandon in 4th place with a 26.8. So Brandon improved this time. 0.2 of a second is that improvement. Down the main straight, approaching the start-finish line. Brandon will cross the line now. No improvement still. 126.8 there for him. We are just about 2 minutes away, and then there are only 2 sessions left for this evening. So no Porsches and no Ferraris in this session.
Yeah, I was expecting to see a few more Ferraris, but like Will said, it's become a Ford Fiesta.
But it's okay, I'm happy to be the wolf amongst the sheep. My little white Porsche. Sorry, Steven, I've got some setups I can help you with.
Thanks, eh? Well, it's gonna need it since I'm in Bravo.
So Lendl just throwing that car around. Right on the entry decides to rather get off the track. Ooh, then a little touch of the dirt on the exit there. Wonder whether that's just impacted him slightly. He might be getting a little bit of a tow from the car in front of him. It almost looks like he's purposely throwing that car in to get it sideways. So still no improvement from any of the other drivers that have gone past, and Lendl does not improve yet. So 22 seconds, so this will be the final lap. So Vaughan Hill's 27.1 still, so he's basically on a 27.0 net at this stage, and that seems to be that cutoff. And Vaughan is in a 6th place here in this lobby, but that would put him in 3rd place in the 1st lobby. Very strange there. Not sure what happened, but does look like Vaughan was. Oh no, Tyler! Tyler sent me the invite just as I was going to take a snap of those times.
Have you got the times?
I do, yes, but I'm also just monitoring to make sure that there aren't any updates in the times from what I've got.
Okay.
So I am watching out for Louis. I see that he is still on a lap time there. So is Dirkie Vaughan, who's currently... Okay, so that should be good, because Dirkie's definitely on a slowdown lap there.
Yeah, I think it timed out.
Somebody's still on a flyer, that's for sure. Not.
No, I think it timed out.
Alright, well, we do have the final time, so thank you, Stephen. I'm going to be jumping into
Thank you very much.
the next lobby. Enjoy your last session.
Yeah, sweet bud.
So Ashley, I will be able to unmute you now, because we had the clicking in the background, so I just muted you while I was chatting to Stephen. But welcome back.
Thank you. I've been doing some next laps. Managed to improve my time by a second, but still off the pace of these guys.
Have you been able to get an average under a 27? You need to be in the 26s.
No, I'm still in the 27s.
And from some of the calculations that we have made is that there are 15 drivers that are now on that cusp of the 27.0.
No, I would definitely be feeling the pressure right now. With that time that I just did with my practice session, it's still way off on what we've seen in the pace of some of these guys this evening. So I'm pretty glad that I've chosen to sit this one out, because it's going to be a very tough season.
So we have given them the thumbs up. This is the first session's final time, And if the guys are not getting a 26 or less, oh my gosh, I promise you it is going to be extremely difficult to go and find those top 11 that are going to make it through for this championship.
Yeah. And like you said, Jake's very lucky actually that he's ready qualifier, because I think he's going to be, well, he would have been a bit of spot of bother if he hadn't got that automatic qualification, because he doesn't seem to be battling. But then again, he could be just taking it easy, knowing Jake's maybe it's just not taking it that serious and just having fun in the qualifying rounds. Just sizing up his opponents, finding out where the pace is, and I think an interesting qualification we're going to see now. Who's going to be the quickest between these two? Will Marius be able to improve their time? Will we see the guys, the likes of the Horn Dog and Gavin, getting quicker times than what they got in the previous round? Will we see Terry? We saw Terry in the first round doing exceptionally well. The second round, not so well, but now he's got a chance just to put in those quick times and move himself up the grid.
So, Terry did get himself a 26.8, but that second session that he did, that was a 28.1. So that puts him on a 27.5 as an aggregate. And that essentially puts him behind Jakes, Jakes is on a 27.3 in terms of his average. And the reality of that time is that if we take Jakes, so he's basically fourth in the second session, because we're basically altering the drivers every second session. Jakes is basically fourth, but when we compare that to the guys that went first, there's 8 drivers ahead of Jakes, plus him in fourth. That's 12. Jakes has been cut out of the qualifying.
No, absolutely.
But now the likes of Terry is now going to be behind Jakes with an average of a 127.4. It's make or break now, and I'm pretty sure these guys are going to be feeling the pressure. I've also noticed that there haven't been many people that have come and chatted to us, because they obviously just don't want us to keep reminding them about our
No, absolutely. No, the pressure is on, definitely. And I think this has been one of the closest qualifying sessions that we've seen from the beginning of this whole format that we decided to take on. And it just shows you the caliber of the drivers coming to the field. We've seen a lot of guys coming from the Bravo tier now, dominating and showing their colors in the qualifying rounds. It's still a couple of more sessions to go, and I'm still very keen to see who will be going through to the alpha tiers this evening.
So here's the problem that I have now. Okay, not a problem. It's a little challenge just to throw it out there, just to try and get your head around this. In the first session, we got Pieter who did a 27.2, so he was ahead of Jakes. His next session, Pieter did a 27.4, which means that his aggregate is a 27.3, which is just about tied with Jakes. So we know that Jakes is going through, but you look at Tyler Scott, who did a 27.5. He's got a 27.5 aggregate across the board there.
Yeah.
Marius, and this is Marius Jacobs, he did a 27.7. Then he went quicker, 27.3, which puts him on a 27.4 aggregate.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be pretty damn close. But time will tell. This is the second or penultimate qualifying session this evening, with just one more to go after this. And if this is make or break for some of these drivers. Yeah, especially the guys who've done pretty dismal in the second round. They got to make sure that they get a quick time in this last session. And what I've also noticed while I was doing my practice laps around here, as soon as you start pushing and overdriving that car, immediately you start slowing down. You're slowing yourself down, making those mistakes, wearing those tires, making those tires overheat. And I think that's what they did in the second round. They just need to calm down a little bit, drive neatly, and hit those apexes, and make sure that they keep it between the white lines here. As we see in shots at the moment, Pieter Brunt in that Ferrari. We know he's been super comfortable in that Ferrari. Hasn't been the quickest of the guys this morning, but the GTEs are definitely the quicker cars here this evening, and it's just proven with the times we've seen at the moment.
So Jake goes quickest with a 127.3, which is basically the cutoff. I'm telling you now that 127.3 is going to be their cutoff. But now Gavin 127.1. So looking at Gavin's time, so it looks like Gavin, with that, he should be able to qualify as the horn dog, rotates it round turn number 1. And puts
but
it
he
up in
did
the
get a
wall.
126 though, a 126.9 there for the horn dog. And Terry also doing a great job there. That's Dylan a 127, almost a 127 flat. So better run from him this time.
Yeah, but that second session of his that has definitely not helped his cause. Terry doing a 128.1. So that's also put him in that 125 mark. That 127.5 mark. So he definitely is going to need something a little bit special here just to help bring him within that 27.3, because I'm almost sure that the 27.3 is going to be where that cutoff is.
So in shots at the moment we've got Marius, and Marius will be hoping to get a better, cleaner run this time. He seems to have found himself a nice spot on the track here, not too much traffic around him. And I think that's what caused him to be under a little bit of pressure in the last round. He just found himself moving through traffic, and we did see that he made a couple of mistakes with the guys sprinting in front of him, and we lost quite a bit of time. But this time around, he's got a clear track around him, and right behind him, that looks Jakes, who's just come out. And I think Jakes will probably be looking for a bit of a slipstream. He knows how fast Marius is in that BMW. The cars are pretty much matched. It's just basically the setup that differs between these two cars. And Jakes coming out the pits now. He will have the colder tires, but he will try to keep up with Marius just to see if he can get that slipstream. And you can see he's battling to get the power down there. As you see Marius.
Yeah, this is a very, very neat lap from Marius so far.
Yeah, looking very strong at the moment. Let's see if he can convert that into... Ooh, gets a little bit sideways there, Jakes. Showing us how it's done through that corner. And Marius looks like he lost a little bit of time there, but still a couple of corners go. Can he improve his time? Goes completely wide there, and that time will be invalidated.
Well, unless he's managed to get away with that, but
yeah, I don't see from the race feeds. I don't see any error message. He does cross the line there, but doesn't improve his time.
No, yeah, 127.1. That was his fastest at the same time. So yes, so he was able to get away, but not fast enough, unfortunately. Pieter Brunt 126.9 there for him.
Oh, look at the difference. 4 milliseconds between those two drivers. You don't get any closer, and that's the Ferrari now getting those 126s. So Pieter Brunt finding some pace there and challenging those forwards up in front. So still on board here with Marius, and let's see if he can improve. Right behind him we have Jakes. I just want to jump on board with Jackson, see what the difference between the two drivers' lines are. We see Marius going very deep into that corner, and hopefully, I'm sure Jakes will be hoping for a little bit of a slipstream down the straight here, just to compensate for the power that they're losing over the fours on the straight. Ooh, it goes a very interesting line there, almost like slides into that corner. And we see him crossing the line there. Jakes doesn't seem to improve his time, still a 1:27.3. So I just want to jump on board now with the horn dog. See Andrew, whoa, getting a little bit sideways with the tail stepping out there.
But that just seems to be the characteristic of this car, and you can see all the drivers when they're turning into that rear just steps out, they slide it through, but then they're using that power to help them through the corner.
Yep, I noticed with this car you can use the power just to get that grip down again, and it seems to pull through very nicely. But the internet buffering here is not really helping us see exactly
We're not
how
really
he's
getting
driving
a
the
good
car.
line there from
No,
what we're seeing.
but yeah, on board with Pieter Brandt, and finding a lot of pace now in that Ferrari, doing exceptionally good times here. But he looks like he's going to abort that lap and try again. That's what the viewer wants. There we go.
Oh, Terry did look a little bit too deep into turn number 3 there. A little while there, but did seem to have been able to carry that speed through, because now he's got a nice straight line through on the exit of turn 6.
Yeah, and sporting those blue and orange colors. Oh, gets a bit sideways there, loses the rear end, and that will really damage that lap there, will ruin his lap.
But also,
And I'm sure his tires.
you also don't get that nice run down onto the main straight.
Yeah.
So you'll have to regroup once again and to get this going. So currently Andrew Horning, also now that those tires have heated up after spinning, you can see how he just loses their traction. So Tyler Scott in shot, and even Rhymes, I didn't even realize that he's in 7th place. He crosses line 27.7 for him, and that's where it stays.
There we see Marius coming out the pits there, warming up his tires. He will then try now go for his final run with only 3 minutes left on the clock. Time slowly running out for these guys in this group. If they can make any improvement, they need to do it now within the next 3 minutes. And you can see Tyler there now coming through into corners 6 and 7, I think it is.
So I've just noticed something there, Ashley, is that there's 2 minutes left, and Stephen down in 15th place still hasn't put a time on. Our fellow a part-time commentator. This is make or break for him. Stephen, 28th there for him, so he's not really going to be challenging too much for the Alpha tier. But it's just about not being able to get a lap within 15 minutes. So that's 7 laps and not one of them being able to convert.
Yeah, that's most unfortunate. I mean, there were 33 entries, so he's gonna have to make sure that he at least gets into the Bravo tiers. keep on board at the moment. We also see Adrian Bond down in 14th at the moment with a 131.3. Also struggling in this Ferrari. Obviously not getting the same setup as that his previous teammates are there. Pieter Brunt, who's got a 126.9. One of the fastest guys on the track at the moment. New coming to the SARCO Racing, and that's Nazif 75. He's joined us and finding it very difficult to keep the pace of the guys who got a bit more experience than he has. He's so far his time a 130.1 and pretty far off the pace at the moment compared to the guys out in front.
But I must say, this format that we have in terms of the qualifying, it does definitely get the guys' hearts up, and a lot of the drivers have said that, man, oh man, the qualifying is definitely nerve-wracking. It definitely keeps your heart rate up. We are looking at Drodkar, who joined us halfway through last season. We know him as Drodkar, his name is Lawrence, and I'm pretty sure he'll be happy to be starting with us from the beginning of a season, as Drodkar goes by 129.2.
Down in 11th at the moment, a 129.0. Just struggling a bit with the handling of the vehicle, not getting in those smooth laps, and unfortunately finds himself down the field at the moment. But I'm sure he'll be looking forward to this season's challenge, the GTE challenge, as he crosses the line now. Does not improve his time and stays down in 11th at the moment. So I'm just looking at the times that I think the Horn Dog has decided to pit, and he ends this qualification with a 126.8, followed by Pieter Brunt, a 126.9. Very close behind. Look at that, Dylan.
That is absolutely
Four
incredible.
hundredths, then 500ths, and then 800ths of the second. Unbelievable difference between those. The top four there. You can even go down to 5th. Man on man, less than the 10th between the top four. Then in 5th we have a Terry 127.0, Jakes a 127.1, and then right to Tyler Scott in 7th there, less than the second between those drivers. Supposed to see still on track at the moment, Brandon Santos, but it looks like he's ended his qualifying.
Cool. With that, I'm going to jump to the final session.
That somebody said that to me the other day, and I actually freaking ignored the comment. Like just a stop start. Dylan nie binne. Dylan, mayday.
Alright guys, enjoy it. The last session for the evening. The times are very close. Just remember that cutoff is around about a 127.3. Good luck.
Okay.
Make it count.
Luck. I don't need luck, I need a flippin' miracle.
Who's missing of a chase codes to see? I know, so, okay.
I wish somebody would throw me a set up.
So, Stephen, did you go back onto the softs and did they help?
No, I went back to the hards.
You did? So the,
I did.
the softs were terrible. So what
No,
you can say
no,
is,
I
sorry
tried-
Dylan, you were right.
No, it was like, Dol, did you even see a time up for me?
We did not see a time for you, no.
No.
And we did comment on that to say that you, out of 2 minutes left to go, you haven't put a time on, you are circulating. So out of 7 laps, you weren't able to make one stick.
I kept on losing it on the same corner. My first lap, perfect, nothing wrong. On the one that actually counts, every time the same corner, the same spot. I thought maybe I was in the wrong gear. I start taking in a higher gear, it still spins out. I was like, yeah, it's just not my night.
It's okay, Stephen. Another great championship for you.
I love the cars, but well, when things just don't want to work out for you, yeah, it's throwing the white flag.
Don't worry, Stephen. When we start going to some of the races, you'll see that the Porsche won't be so, how do you say, terrible. On the set of
No.
realize that we coat coconuts.
I'm not. I didn't say that the car is horrible. The car feels great. Setup and all that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
So our first race will be at Alton Park International. Good luck.
Thanks.
Good luck for the Fords there. It's such a bumpy track. At least the
It
Porsche
is.
get to ride the bumps a bit. I must say, when we go to Monza, that's going to be an absolute Ford fest there. Then the Le Mans 24-hour, that's going to be an interesting one. 10 laps is what is planned to be done there.
Where the Ford actually performs quite well there, I must say.
I'm looking forward to Laguna Seca in the Porsche because you can really throw the
Yes.
Porsche around there. Then we take a little trip back to Italy and we go to Imola, back to Germany for Hockenheim GP, a track we haven't raced on for a couple of races. Then Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and then we finish it off with Donington Park GP for 27 laps.
Well, let's see if Glendale can take this one, hands down, because he has been on a roll this evening.
He's, I'm pretty sure that he's going to be wanting to try and break into those 25s. He has been threatening, but just hasn't been able to make a stick. And that's very, very black. I think that's me in the background there. He's chasing Glendale, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's catching a bit of a slipstream there.
There's Brandon. So a bit of team orders, but you see both GT40s going a little bit sideways. But Lendl crosses the line at 26.9 there for him. And that is the Porsche there of Duncan just getting out of the way for the Foster guys coming past him. So Jacques 27.7 for him, Robert 27.7. And look at that, Brandon and
How's
Robert,
that?
exactly the same lap time there.
Wow. How many times do you get to see that?
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
that was Brandon going a little bit off there. I'm actually confused now because is that that should be Brandon Hills, right? Cause we had. Where is Brandon? Ah, there we go. Okay, so I found Brandon Dos Santos. Because that is Brandon Hills. So Brandon Dos Santos was in the odd numbers, and
Yeah.
Brandon Hills now in the evens.
Did you just lose someone?
No, it was Lendl who just jumped back to the pits.
Oh, okay. On 26-4.
We have lost SARCO sheep.
Yeah, I think we already lost him before we
Yes, I
really
agree.
started. Yeah.
It definitely is one of the characteristics of that Ford. You can see as they're turning in there how the rear almost rotates and they're sliding that car through.
Yeah.
So Lendl 26.4. So Lendl is definitely the quickest here this evening, and that's across the 3 sessions. I'm sure he'll be very happy to do that. As Brandon, we saw the inside white line, so I wonder whether this is going to be a valid lap. But Stephen, you should see the confirmation. Well, there he goes, 27.0. So
Yeah.
that's puts Brandon under now as an average under the 27 mark, and a Porsche in the background there.
Yeah. Losing
off
it
the
quite
curb.
badly.
I see
Nice to
Dirkie's
see.
just gone a 26.7 there for him. So that puts Dirkie around about the 127.7 average there for him as well this evening.
Yeah.
So he has got himself through.
No, definitely he's been quick all night as well. So it's going to be a nice to see him running up there with the fast boys. But, yeah, it looks like Lendl is in his own league tonight, taking it hands down. So it's going to actually be nice to see him in Alpha doing well there with Jakes, Marius, Dylan. So yeah, it's going to be quite a race.
So I've just done a quick calculation here. I was looking at Terry's time because I know that he was pretty quick in the first heat and then came back in that third heat.
The 30
So
yes.
he did a 26.8 first up, then that 28.1, and then finished off on that 27.0. So he's basically, if you take away that that 1.5 tenth that he's got in that first heat, that puts him about 0.9 of a second, which you then split between the 3. And that puts him at a 127.3, so it's on that cusp for Terry as well there. And guys, just remember that these are just us looking at it and doing the calculations in our head. We will get the times updated through the day tomorrow, so we will make that announcement on our Discord as well as on our Facebook page, so you'll be able to tune in then for that post.
Looks like Vaughan Hill busy battling a little bit with the car as I clicked on his name. I see he just went to 7th now.
Oh!
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so that was quite an interesting moment. I'm pretty sure that Vaughan got a bit of a fright there seeing that car.
I don't know.
So
I don't know if
close.
it's more of a fright, the Aston or the Ford.
Yeah, exactly. So just over 5 minutes left, and Lendl, the fastest average time of the day, goes to Lendl Dirkie 126.7, and looking at his average, that's going to put him just on about a 127.8 as his average, so definitely going to be through. Brandon, a 127 dead for him in his first session, followed by 126.8. Now currently a 127, so that's going to put him on 126.9. So Brandon, he too should be through.
And there goes Lendl with a 126.303.
Yep,
So he just went a little bit quicker,
he has indeed.
but still hasn't found that pace in Heat 1.
So Robert in the pits, so he's going to have a chance to go one more time, but a 126.8 for Robert. A 126.7 his first heat, 126.9, so 126.8 is going to be his average. So Robert is going to be through as well. Rockstar Mel, you can count on him being through, because a 126.6, then a 126.6. Followed by a 127.0, so currently on that a 126.8 average for him.
See, Somnia is busy battling here in this round. He's only on a 127.539, so wonder if he's changed something on the car, or has he just had a...
Yeah, I don't think that he's got that pace down just yet, because he did a 126.4, then a 126.6.
Yeah, he was there.
So currently Louis sitting about a 126.8 in terms of his average, so he should be safe.
He should be safe.
As
but
I'm saying that, there's starting to be more and more people that are in this safe zone. So it's going to be very interesting, and definitely we're going to be having quite a few drivers from this specific lobby, this the even lobby. I think that we might get at least 6 or 7 drivers from this lobby, which means that there's only enough space for 5 drivers from the first one to fit, and that's just the reality. That's just how close this qualifying session has been this evening.
And there goes Lendl, 126.091. So he's found the pace. He just can't break into the 125s.
So a Rockstar Mal 126.7 there for him. So pretty confident that he is now qualified. So Rockstar Mal will be in there, as well as Dirkie. Brandon 126.8 for him. So looking at Brandon, that's going to be a 126.7 aggregate there for him. So he too is going to be in. Robert is within the 29. So far the first 5 are in. Then we've got Louis on 6th place. Let's look at some of Louis' times, and he's going to be in. He's within that 26 mark. Then a Vaughan 27.5 for him, but Vaughan went 26.9, then a 27.1. So he's currently on that cusp of that 27.3. So it's going to be very, very close there for Vaughan. He's going to need to find just a little bit of pace there for himself. Or else he is definitely going to be in trouble, which essentially means that there's 7 drivers that could possibly go through that are all within that 27.3.
Yeah. it looks like we're talking about Insomnia. It looks like Insomnia found some pace in his car again, because I see he's on a 126.856.
So that
Yeah,
means he's through as well.
yeah, no, he is. But the times are so close.
So that is the end of that qualifying. So whoever is on a qualifying lap, that will still count. But man, oh man, Lendl definitely stealing the show here this evening. He did a 1:26.5, 1 in 26.1, and then a 1:26.0. So he will definitely have a very, very low average there. I actually think that Lendl was pulled off into the end there at the end of the track and is doing some donuts.
And has Insomnia come back there? The last 9 seconds, 126.244. Wow.
That is incredible.
I think that must be his best run so far. Is his last run?
I'll tell you right now. So Luby did a 26.6 and a 26.4. So yes,
Yeah.
he did improve. So absolutely fantastic.
Wow, that is insane. The times are insane.
So guys, that is the end of that qualifying, and it is going to be extremely, extremely close. We will be able to, just want to get this off here quickly, because I see that we're still sharing. Oh, that's in the Discord, of course. Stop the sharing. There we go. So the question is the 127.3 going to be enough? We will definitely get those times updated, so you're able to check it out. A big thank you to everyone that has entered. 33 drivers have entered into this championship. Really looking forward to seeing how this all unfolds. I know that some of the guys would have tried to gamble with the car. I know that Pieter Brandt took that Ferrari. He's an automatic qualifier, so he'll go in. Marius will now qualify going with that BMW. I'm going to have a Porsche.
A Porky.
In the Alpha Tail, I think I'm going to be the only Porsche in the Alpha Tail, which is actually a little bit scary. Like, have I made the wrong car choice here, which is going to be definitely one of those questions.
As you said, Dylan, I think it's going to just vary from track to track. The Fords were quicker on the circuit, but I don't think it's going to be quick overall. We saw from the previous seasons, actually the Corvette was one of the dominating vehicles, and the Porsche was right up there as well. So things will shift and change as the tracks change and as the conditions change. So I think we're still in for a nail-biting season.
I can't agree with you anymore. I just want to say a big bless you, Stephen. I just want to say a big thank you to our host this evening, and that is to Tyler as well as Amal Jacques, to Stephen doing a double role, jumping in the driver's seat and then helping with the commentary, as well as Ash taking not a back seat this season to allow me to race, and Ashley will be racing on the Thursday night. So thank you, Ashley, for letting me have a go once again.
No, you're welcome. Because I don't think I would have stand a chance anyway. So I'm just gonna bow out like what are the Nico Rosberg, you know?
Quit while you're ahead.
Yeah, basically.
No, absolutely awesome. So guys, just keep your eyes out on our Facebook page tomorrow. We will get all those qualifying times out, so we know who is in what tier. 27.3.
It's anyone's game at the moment. I think it's going to be a big surprise. Once those times come out, I think a lot of drivers are going to be very, very surprised. And we saw some of the guys from the Bravo tier doing exceptionally well in the qualifying this evening. So a nice change up. We're going to see a different field this season, but it's going to be very exciting. Yeah.
100%. So guys, don't forget that we will have our qualifiers this coming Thursday, but just depending on the entries, if we don't have enough entries for the qualifier, we are going to have just a little fun race, but at least that you'll get a view of what the format is like. We'll be able to just test it and see how it goes, but then we will be back next week, Monday, where we go to round number 1 of this championship, and I can't wait to get behind the wheel.
No, absolutely. I think you're going to enjoy it, Dylan, and I'm looking forward to that Chevy V8 Challenge sprint series. A little bit different. We're going for the GTE 4 vehicle, slightly slower, but no means a slouch. I think it's going to be an interesting sprint race, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. And guys, if you do want to join us, if you want to come involved with the SARCO team, check out our website, www.sarcoracing.co.za. You can also follow us on Facebook and watch us live on YouTube.
Guys, and before we sign off, thank you, Deliver Your Parcel, for coming on board once again to providing us with an amazing prize. Is that we will be taking another 3-man team to the next event. But this coming 8th of August, we will be at Schotlz Raceway, where we will be having our 3 SARCO representatives in the invitational team from Deliver Your Parcel and SARCO. And I was actually at the workshop this afternoon having a look at the kart, and I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Yeah, I'm very jealous. But you guys enjoy that, and definitely take yourself some deep heat or something for after the race, because you're going to need it.
Oh, it's awesome. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you on Thursday. Until then, keep racing, and thanks for watching. Yos.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Good man.